my name is Dr. David Brust, and I've been a practicing exotic veterinarian for the last 25 years. I'm the author of Sugar Gliders, a complete veterinary care guide, and I'm also president of the Association of Sugar Glider Veterinarians. The purpose of this video series is to cut through all the internet misinformation out there and teach owners like you the very best veterinary approved ways to raise and care for sugar gliders. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page here, sugar gliders are also commonly known as sugar bears and honey gliders. And with that in mind, the goal of this video is to show you the very best way to potty train these little guys. First off, even though sugar gliders cannot be trained to use something like a litter box, they are very intelligent little animals and they're extremely predictable. Because of this, if you learn to read your animal's natural habits and practice a couple of simple conditioning exercises with them, I'll show you here in just a second, they can go with you almost anywhere and make great companion pets. As a vet, one of the biggest myths about sugar gliders that I see all over the internet is that they're extremely messy and poop and pee everywhere. This simple truth is that any untrained animal will poop or pee wherever it wants. And sugar gliders are no more or no less messy than most other house pets. In fact, with a little understanding and training, they can easily hang out with you in your pocket all day long without a single accident. For example, as a practicing veterinarian, I almost always have at least one of my personal pet sugar gliders in my pockets all day long. I'm on the go, non-stop, 10 to 12 hours a day, every day. And you can tell by what I'm wearing, there's no way I could keep them on me like this if they just relieve themselves anywhere. The truth is, my little guys almost never have an accident as long as I'm paying attention to what they're trying to tell me. First off, like a lot of other pets, sugar gliders usually will not go to the bathroom where they sleep. They're extremely clean little animals that do not require bathing and tend to keep themselves impeccably clean. In that way, they're very similar to cats. Also, as I've already mentioned in another video, the potty habits of sugar gliders are similar to human beings in that the first thing we usually both do after waking up from a long nap is go to the bathroom. Understanding these two simple things are the foundation of training your baby and avoiding unnecessary accidents. Training your sugar glider begins on the very first day you pick them up, and the process is very simple. All you need is a little newspaper and some unscented baby wipes. And make sure you set them out in front of the cage before you try to pick up your baby. In fact, as a new parent, it's a good idea to always keep a supply of newspaper and wipes within reach of the cage until you have them fully trained. Once you've got the newspaper and baby wipes ready to go, from this point forward, every time you take your baby out of the cage, you're going to teach it to go to the bathroom using the following 3 steps. Step 1 is to pick up the baby and stimulate it to go to the bathroom. Holding the baby in one hand as we demonstrated in another video, take a cool, moist baby wipe and gently wipe its rear. In most cases, if the baby hasn't already started relieving itself, it will let loose as soon as you touch it with the baby wipe. This same technique is used to stimulate many other pets, and you can even massage the little tummy a little bit to help the process along. After a full minute of doing this, they will have the first round out of the way, and you're about halfway done. Now, at this point, step 2 is to let them move from hand to hand using the tube technique that we showed you in a previous video. Once their little legs start moving around for a couple of minutes, this usually stimulates them to eliminate anything else that's still in their digestive tract. This process can take anywhere from a few seconds to a couple of minutes, and they usually release 2 or 3 more pellets and several more drops of urine. At this point, you're about 90% done. The third and final step in this process is simply to hold them again in one hand and repeat the baby wipe technique. This kind of works like insurance and physically stimulates them to release any other little surprises they may be still holding on to. Once you've done this for about 30 seconds to a minute, you should be pretty much all set. Now, it usually takes anywhere from about 1 to 5 minutes for a trained glider to completely empty itself whenever you first take it out of its cage. Now, having said that, the biggest mistake I see most new owners make is simply stopping the process too soon. And then they usually get a little present or two on their shoulders. So no matter what, in the beginning you'll always have some accidents, but over time they will become less and less frequent as long as you stick to the training. It's been my experience that every glider has slightly different potty habits, but once you know your particular animal does their business, it's pretty easy to know when they're all done. From there, once they've essentially emptied themselves, they usually won't go to the bathroom for the next 2 or 3 hours, unless, of course, you give them something to eat or drink. Well-bonded sugar gliders love to hang out with their owners, and mine spend the majority of their time sleeping in my pocket all day long. In fact, once you've got them trained, you'll notice that about the only time they wake up is when they need to go to the bathroom. Therefore, whenever you feel one wake up, it starts moving around in your pocket, what they're probably telling you is that they need to go to the bathroom. When this happens, simply take them out, let them do their business, give them a little snack, play with them for a minute, and let them go back in your pocket. Actually, once you learn your baby's potty habits and train them using the techniques that I just showed you, the whole process becomes very simple and predictable. In fact, to demonstrate how well all this works, I'll show you one of my personal pets, Tinkerbell. She has been trained using all the techniques I just demonstrated for you, and she's very typical of how an adult sugar glider can be trained to be an excellent companion pet.